That's the first ball of this game between the Cathedral Knights and the SVKM Blazing Strikers in the DAGS Premier League. And Bhavik Premier League. And Bhavik gets off the mark straight away with a push down to long on. The news out there from the middle is that the Knights have won the toss and they've decided that they'll have a bat first. Ryan will take strike for his first ball. Meanwhile, it is Hiren who has kick-started proceedings with the ball for the Blazing Strikers. Gentle push, but no run there. So Hiren to continue bowling to Ryan. Oh, he's picked that nicely, and that is gone past that fielder for 4 comfortably. Picks it nicely. The ball was straying on the leg side a bit, and it eventually finds the rope with no protection out there in the deep. Races away for the first boundary for the Cathedral Knights. Ryan off the mark in style. Another in bottom edge, and that is running away. They will get back for a comfortable 2. So Ryan starting his innings on a promising note with a boundary and a couple to follow. And Ryan takes the aerial route. It's in the air. Falls just short of the fielder, and they will once again come back for a second. So 9 runs coming off it. 1 more ball left in this over. Oh, that ball kept low. So he ends the over with the dot ball. So the first over done and dusted. The Cathedral Knights are 9 for no loss. Ashish, the new bowler. I beg your pardon, that is Adish, who will kickstart proceedings from the other end with the new ball. And it is Bhavik who will take strike on this particular instance. Ryan has got off to a good start with 8 of 5. There's Bhavik on the other hand. just getting started with his innings. As Adish and Rabhavik takes the aerial route with a stylish extra cover drive, and that ball has gone to the boundary in no time. Perfect start to the over here for the Knights. Swinging away, and all Bhavik had to do was just extend his arms. He went with a free flowing, expansive drive, and it was a low risk shot taking the aerial route. So that's a good start now. Moved on to 13. The Knights. And Bhavik standing just outside his crease to mitigate the early movement. Oh, close. Much better ball this. Good comeback from Adish. Bowling it closer to the line of the stumps. Not much width on offer. So Adish bowling to Bhavik again. 4 and a dot. What will the result of the third ball be? Pushes it down gently. Won't get a run. It's another dot ball. So here is Adish bowling to Bhavik. Oh, that is a good ball again. That late movement troubling Bhavik a bit. You can see that there's genuine late movement off the surface there. He's trying to play it down to third man, but again that late movement has beaten him all ends up. So very interesting this, worth noting. Bhavik will have to be a little careful in this instance because that late movement is giving him a little trouble. Again, that late movement once again not giving him the chance to free his arms. So this is a very, very good comeback from Adish after conceding a boundary of the very first ball. So here is Adish bowling to Bhavik. Can he end the over strongly? So that's a beautiful shot. And Bhavik gets his comeback in style. Starts the over with a boundary. Ends the over with a boundary. This is elegance personified by Bhavik. Lovely shot. A little fuller. This time counters that late movement with style and grace. And that is a couple of bounces and into the boundary for 4. So the end of the second over, the Knights 17 for no loss. It is Jay. That's a first bowling change of the day for the Blazing Strikers with the ball. Jay coming into the attack, and he will be bowling to Ryan to begin the third over. And Ryan goes aggressive with the first ball, and that has gone to the boundary for 4. Again, a perfect start. getting a boundary of the first ball of the over automatically puts the pressure on the bowling side. It's a directionless ball, if I'm being completely honest. Full toss, wide outside the off stump, is asking to be hit, and Ryan duly obliged with the same. Both batsmen off to good starts. So very good start indeed. It's a quick start, not a rapid start, but a quick start, and they will take that. Oh, that's a good ball. That's a much better delivery. That's the ball that he needs to bowl with regularity. Little bit of bounce, bowled at just the right channel, and squaring the batsman there. And that's in the air. That's taken the top edge. It's in the air for a long time, and the keeper has dropped it. Goodness me, the keeper has made an absolute hash of that chance, and Ryan survives. A very, very close call indeed. Ryan was looking to go for the slog sweep on this occasion. There, gets nowhere close to it, gets the top edge. It was in the air for a long time, but the keeper just wasn't able to get the trajectory of the ball. Gets into a very, very awkward position and eventually floors the ball. So Ryan lives to fight another day. How costly will this drop prove for the Blazing Strikers? Plays it down the ground for no run. Does Bhavik there? 5 runs off the 4 balls. So once again, it has been a good comeback by the bowler after being dispatched for 4 of the first ball. But they'd want to avoid a repeat of the previous over by not conceding a boundary of the last over ball. There, he's played that in the gap on the leg side. Comfortable single there. Plays it nice and late, a little bit of hesitation, and he's gone. That hesitation has led to the downfall, and that is the first wicket gone. It should have been an instant single, a quick single. But have a look at this. He plays it. There's a little bit of a yes and no, and that hesitation has cost. It's a good throw, right over the keeper, right over the stumps, and Bhavik has to depart. Bhavik was looking good, but his innings has been unfortunately cut short, and the Cathedral Knights lose their first wicket for 23 at the end of 3 overs. So Shainik is the new batsman out in the middle, and Rahul is the new bowler from the other end. It's a good start first up. Plays it down for a single. The umpire calls it a. Shenik plays it down the ground, but there is protection out there in the closing fielder on the offside. Rahul continues to bowl to Shenik. And this time Shenik gets the connection, but that is a very good fielding effort, and that is out! One run out was not enough. They've decided to get ahead for the second one. This is calamitous from Shenik. And Shenik goes for a duck. That is excellent fielding. This is brilliantly done. Here, that was a good shot from Shenik. No bones about that. Brilliantly timed. But look at this. This is an excellent fielding effort. Stops it. Lightning quick throw. And Shenik is just stranded down the ground. Absolutely suicidal. There was no run there. And Shenik departs without troubling the scorers. And suddenly, the Knights have found themselves in a little bit of trouble at the moment. 24 for 2. So here is Rahul. Very, very tentative poke by the new batsman there. Alok has walked out to the middle. Plays that one nicely. And that is a beautiful shot to get off the mark for Alok. Plays it nicely off the back foot. Caresses that ball, plays it late, and finds the gap for 4. Good shot. Here is Alok. Appeal for LBW, but nothing doing. Are they going to look for the second? That's good running. The umpire calls it leg byes. The bowler had an inquiry for potential LBW, but that ball seemed to be clearly missing the stumps. 2 runs. Ryan on strike. Jay bowling his second over. First over going for 6. Trying to play rock back and play that cut shot, but did not get the desired result. Swing and a miss. Gentle appeal for stumping, but not out, says the umpire. Here is Ryan facing Jay once again. He's faced two dot balls. That's it. That's hit. And that has stayed hit. One bounce into the rope for four. And it is a no ball as well. So the pressure now on the bowler. The free hit coming up next. Here is Ryan bowling facing Jay. Swings and swings nicely, but there is protection. Will only be a single. Here is Alok. It's a huge appeal for caught behind. Not out, says the umpire. Again, very close to that outside edge. And the hands on head of the bowler indicate that he was very close to finding it as well. Last ball of the fifth over. What can Alok do? In the air, just short. Once again, no run, so it's a very good over still. Just 6 runs off it. 5 overs gone. The Cathedral Knights 36 for 2. Final over of the power play. Rahul to bowl to Ryan. This is the window of opportunity that Ryan will be looking for. He'll be trying to make full use of these final 6 legal deliveries of the power play. Plays that well. Has he found the gap? No, he hasn't. That's an excellent stop. Keeps it down to only a single. The close and fielding inside the 30-yard circle has been the defining point of the fielding effort so far. 2 run-outs, a couple of really good stops, one excellent stop leading to a run-out. It's been very, very good so far. Bar that drop catch from the keeper, it has been a very, very good fielding effort. And that has obviously had an impact on both the wickets so far, given that both of them were run-outs. Cuts it. And it's going to the boundary for 4. He's cut that very well, has Alok. Here, was there to be hit. Plays it late and between the gap of those 2 fielders on the offside. So Alok gets his second boundary. Oh, that's a huge appeal for LBW. Not out, says the umpire. Gets a leg by. Ball looked to be missing the stumps clearly. And that's a good slog sweep. And he's found the rope. Very good shot from Ryan. Picks it from outside the off stump and hits it in the other direction. There. Picks it beautifully and sweeps it with accuracy and power. Good shot from Ryan. He's making a move on here. 2 boundaries of this over. 10 runs coming off it. Still 2 more balls to go. Just the over that the Knights were looking for to end the power play. And they still have 2 more deliveries to go. Very close to the outside edge. So that is a good comeback from Rahul. And Ryan gets down on one knee, this time through extra cover, and that goes to the boundary. So 14 runs coming off this over. It's a successful over for the Cathedral Knights. Beautiful shot, gets down on one knee, takes full toll of that full toss outside the off stump, and beats it past extra cover for 4. Six overs gone, and that's the 50 up for the Cathedral Knights. 50 for 2. So Vishal introduced into the attack. Ryan ending that previous over in a flurry of boundaries. And Alok currently on 9 of 8, and he will be facing Vishal. Plays it nicely, however, will only be a single. Here is Ryan now facing Vishal. Ryan has looked good. He's currently batting on 27 of 17. He's played some really nice strokes and has showcased his repertoire. Played that one well, agonizingly close to that fielder. But again, it has been a good fielding effort. Stopped that single as well, despite not being able to get that catch. The fielding has been top notch from them so far. It's a full toss straight to the fielder. Ryan will be disappointed that he missed out on that. Gives it the charge, and that has gone to the boundary for 4. So Ryan continues to get a move on. He moves on into the 30s. Dances down the track, couple of steps, and makes room for himself to maneuver the ball in that gap that he was looking for. Great placement and great result. Oh, trying to go for that slog sweep. He's got in trouble with that slog sweep a couple of occasions. The one with the drop catch, this one going above him. Probably the wise option would be to refrain from using that shot for at least a few overs. He's picked that, has he? Oh, he's dropped. Ryan has been dropped once again. That's 2 lives for Ryan now. Had to reach out for that one. Should have been a comfortable catch, but it popped out of his hands. So Ryan gets a lifeline once again. How costly are those couple of drop chances going to be for the SVKM Blazing Strikers? And it is the set batsman, it is Ryan that we are talking about. That has gone to the boundary for four as well. Again, picks the slog sweep. And that is a drop chance that has gone to the boundary for four. It's a third drop. These drops are proving costly with every passing ball. Here comes Pratik to Ryan. Stops the ball stopping a little there. Again, another slog sweep attempted, but that's a swing and a miss. So Ryan having a mixed day with the slog sweep so far. He's got a couple of shots to go to the boundary, but he's had a couple of missed chances as well. There, that ball keeping low as well. Good fielding effort, keeps it down to only a single. So now we've seen a couple of instances where the ball is stopped off the pitch and the ball has kept low too. So very interesting to see how the batsmen tackle this uneven bounce. Will definitely be a challenge and something worth keeping an eye out on. Swing and a miss. Called a dot ball. Just 5 runs coming off this over. Still one more ball to go. Nice and tight over this from Pratik. Vishal being brought back into the attack. The 8 overs in, 61 for 2. The Cathedral Knights. Ryan batting on 37 and Alok at a run a ball 10. Vishal bowling to Ryan now. Full toss and takes full toll, but will only be a single accounting to the protection in the deep for the exact same shot. Called a wide. Oh, that's a much better delivery. Gets a toe end of the bat. will settle for only a single. Another inside edge, and that has stopped just before the boundary, but not before the batsman crossed for a couple of runs. So all of a sudden now Ryan living just a little dangerously. Couple of inside edges, couple of drop chances. Again hits it down the ground behind square. Looking for two. They will eventually get it. Back to back couple of runs taken here. Slowly and steadily making sure that the score moves on at a good pace. 8 runs coming off it. They will make that 9. So the end of the ninth over, the Cathedral Knights are 70 for 2. Pratik to continue with his second over, and Alok is taking strike. No run there. Back protection with the fielders inside the offside. Sit nicely down the ground. Again, there's only be a single there. Trying to play the paddle. Looking to get two. Will get two. Cuts nicely just over that fielder, and that ball's racing away. The fielder cuts it out before it reaches the boundary and will keep it down to 2 runs. So good decent start this by the Cathedral Knights in terms of the bat. They did lose 2 early wickets courtesy of some slapdash running between the wickets. But now they found some groove, they found some momentum, and they found some runs under their belt. Predominantly Ryan doing the bulk of the scoring, but Alok also giving him good support. Ryan currently on 47. Slock sweeps it to deep square leg for only a single. Last ball of the 10th over. Close on the bounce. So that's 10 overs done and dusted. The Cathedral Knights are 76 for 2. Time for drinks. 11 overs gone, 81 for 3, and it is Ryan who's walked out and is dismissed. He's looking very good. It is Hiren bowling to Avnish. Lets that go, and that's been called a wide, and rightly so. Here is the wicket to fall of Ryan. It's looking well set for a big score here, but there he was trying to glide that, but a faint edge, and Ryan knew straight away that he'd gloved it. Straight to the field at third. Ryan knew straight away that he had bat involved and he had to walk. So Hiren bowling to Avnish. Again, bowling a little wide, trying to lure the batsman into playing that shot, that drive, to reach out for the ball. Ball bouncing on him a little, will get a single. Just 2 runs coming off the first 3 deliveries of this over. Thumps it down the ground. Again, no run. This is a nice tight over from Hiren. 2 runs of 5 deliveries. One more ball to go. Needs to finish strongly. Swing and a miss, and very close to the stumps again. Excellent over from Hiren. Just 2 runs and very close to getting the fourth wicket. You're agonizingly close to that off stump there. Very, very close indeed. And just about puts his bat in the crease on time. So that is the end of the 12th over. The Cathedral Knights 83 for 3. Here is Adish bowling to Avnish, and that's an edge, and that's found the boundary. Not much the bowler could do about that. That's a very unfortunate way to concede a boundary. There, oh, that would have on another day gone on to hit the stumps, but not today. That ball's gone to the fence, and Avnish gets a boundary. Not the way that he was looking for, but he will take the boundary nevertheless. This time, that's a much better looking shot. Plays it in that longer pocket, but will only get a single. Lovely shot that down the ground. Only a single. Again, he's trying to play that down to third man, but the ball didn't bounce enough for it. Gives the charge down the ground, will only be a single. So 7 runs of this over. Still one more delivery to go. Nicely bowled, full. Again, will only be a single. So 8 runs coming off this over. 13 overs gone. 91 for 3. So there's Hiren who's been brought back into the attack to bowl his third over. Alok currently struggling a bit. 19 of 25. Avnish playing at a run a ball 8. Down the ground. There is a fielder at long off, so will only be a single. Down the ground again for a single. In the air, over the fielder, 6. Brilliant shot. This comes down the ground, picks the bones out of that, and hits it over that fielder there for 6. Swing and a miss from Alok. Connected the previous delivery but missed out on this one. Wide signal by the umpire. Picks that nicely. One bounce over the rope, 4 runs. So a 6 followed by a 4 in this over. Picked that one nicely. Shortish delivery, gets into position early, finds the gap between the two fielders, and that's gone for 4. It's the end of the 14th over. 103 for 3, the Knights. Rahul now bowling to Avnish. Plays it behind the square on the leg side for a single. Big appeal. This time plays it down the ground. Will get a single, quick single. This time takes the aerial route, but there is protection and deep cover, so 1 again. Plays it down the ground. They're looking for 2, but sent back. Will only be a single once again. down the ground will get a single. So again, a nice tight over here. 6 runs coming off it. Still one more ball left. Are the Knights setting themselves up for a grandstand finish in the final 5 overs? They have the wickets in hand to pull it off. In the gap will be a single. Is in the air for a while, but lands it safely. So end of the over, 15 overs gone. The Cathedral Knights 110 for 3. Pratik has been brought back into the attack to start the final 5 overs of this batting innings. Avnish currently batting on 14 of 13, whereas Alok is at a run a ball 32. In the air, and that's gone for 6. So that's a brilliant start to the first ball of the 16th over. It was in the slot, picks it up beautifully, goes for a full-blooded swing, and that's comfortably cleared the ropes for a 6. Great start to the over. Goes for the big shot once again, but this time nowhere close. So will land safely for a single. So Alok on strike now. It's that nicely. It's in the gap. It's running away. It's gone for 4. So a 6, a single, and now a 4. The perfect launch pad for the final 5 overs. They've got 11 of this over so far, halfway through it. Plays it down the ground, well fielded. Would have had a helpful deflection by the umpire as well, so that will be a dot ball. In the air, in the gap, running away. Does it have the legs? No, it doesn't. Will come back for 2. 16 overs gone. The Cathedral Knights are 124 for 3. Nicely played this. No fielder out there. Picked the gap to perfection and timed it equally beautifully. Vishal to bowl to Alok. Plays it down the ground. The long off fielder will gather. Starts the over with a single. Alok might need to up his gears and accelerate a little bit. He's currently batting on 40 of 37. Meanwhile, Avnish, on the other hand, is on 21 of 15. Lets that go. But that is not given a wide. Ball coming in under that tram line. Swings hard. And that will race away to the boundary. Yes, it will. So he went for a full-blooded swipe here. And that has given a very, very thick outside edge. It's gone to the boundary. And taken. The fourth wicket goes down. It was a full toss. It was there to be hit. And I think he gathered that very well. But that was a good gather. Good catch there from the fielder at the deep. So Avnish has to depart. It's a fourth wicket down. Oh, plays that. Trying to play that late. Picks the aerial route. Beyond that fielder will get 2. So Sahil gets off the mark with a couple. So 7 runs coming off this one. The end of the 17th over. The Cathedral Knights are 131 for 4. So last 3 overs of the first innings, the Knights will definitely be looking for a score of anywhere between 165 to 170. Alok was trying to go for that big heave down the leg side, had to change his shot at the last moment, and will have to settle for a single. Sahil, who's just walked out to bat, faced a couple of deliveries for his 2 runs. Big appeal, and he's given. Scampers for a single, not out, says the umpire. That's another single. Plays that well, but there is protection in the deep on the leg side. Will only be another single. It's 3 singles in 3 balls. Pick that. One bounce to the fielder at long on. So that will be another single. The blazing strikers won't mind that at this stage of the innings. They will not, singles won't hurt them, the twos won't hurt them. It is the boundaries that they wish to and seek to avoid. And so far, they've been doing that right. Swing and a miss. So that's a dot ball. This is a good tight over from Adish. Just 4 singles off it. Needs to finish strongly. Can he finish strongly? Picks it well, and the fielder drops it, and that has gone to the rope, and it's gone all the way for 6. The fielder has palmed that for 6. It was a good looking shot. For all intents and purposes, thought that was gone, but bounced into the hands, outside the hands of the fielders, and gone beyond the rope for 6. It's a much needed boundary that. At the end of the over, 10 coming off it, 18 overs gone, 141 for 4. Vishal bowling to Sahil, the penultimate over of the innings. Hits it straight down the ground and taken. It's a straightforward catch. So Sahil has to depart. Vishal starts the 19th over in the perfect way for his side, getting a wicket at the first ball. And for the very short, this is good field placement. The long off was straight, comparatively straighter than what he was normally there throughout. Kyle went for the big shot straight over the bowler's head, and that's a good catch there. And that is half their side down in the hut. 141 for 5. Vishal, the new batter on strike. And Vishal is the bowler as well. It's Vishal versus Vishal. And Vishal bowls a wide. Vishal plays it towards the leg side for a single. Score now 143 for 5. Still 10 deliveries, 10 legal deliveries to go. Gives the charge, that's an edge. The genuine edge, and that's running away, and it's run away to the boundary for 4. Tries to play it down, that edge goes to the boundary. Much needed boundary that. And that is 50 for Alok as well. Well compiled half century. Again, edges it. Good fielding effort there. Keeps it down to a single. Vishal goes for the big shot and straight to the fielder who gathers it at the second attempt. So that's the second wicket in the over for Vishal P. And Vishal gets the better of Vishal. Lured the batsman into taking the risk. Bowled it into the slot. And the fielder gathers it in the second attempt. A small fumble, but he eventually catches. It's been a busy evening for that afternoon for that fielder there. He's got a couple of catches. He's dropped a couple. 148 for 6. Premeditated shot that. Has he hit it far enough? You bet he has. And that's gone all the way to the boundary for 4. Lovely way to get off the mark. Gets in position quickly. Lifts it up. And because there's no protection out there, that was the right shot to play. And that is the end of the 19th over. 150 comes up for the Cathedral Knights. They're 152 for 6. Last 6 legal deliveries to go, and that will bring Alok on strike for the final over. Yeah, premeditated, smart, gets enough elevation, gets enough momentum, and was smart enough to avoid colliding onto his stumps. All in all, good execution of that shot. Now it is on Alok. And Jay has been entrusted to bowl the final over of this innings. Alok currently batting on 53 of 43. It's a full toss and it gets the treatment. Gone for 6. First ball well over. Poor delivery to start the over and it gets the treatment. .158 to score. They are very much on for 170 with a couple of more big hits from here. Down the ground will be only a single. Anand Beer on strike. Plays it nicely down the ground for a single. So that will bring up the 160 for the Cathedral Knights. Three deliveries to go. Alok, the batsman, on strike. How many runs can he get from here for his side? They've already posted what looks like a competitive total on the surface, but it wouldn't hurt to have a couple of more runs extra in the bank. Again, plays it down the ground, will be only a single. That will once again bring Anand Beer on strike. Premeditated, this time doesn't get the execution. A wayward throw means that they will complete the single, so it's 162. Final ball of the innings to go, and it is Alok on strike who is now clearly feeling it. He's been out there for a pretty long time. Here comes final ball, Jay to Alok. And he picks it in style, and that's gone all the way for 6. So this Alok starts it with a 6, finishes with a 6, and the Central Knights finish with a very, very healthy and competitive total of 168 for 6. Alok unbeaten on 67 of 47, and that is what I feel the par total over here. The Svkms Blazing Strikers, when they come back, the target in front of them will be 169. We'll see you on the other side with the run chase. Chase flicks it beautifully off his pads, and that is the first ball disappearing to the boundary for four. Perfect possible start to the run chase. Was full, angling into the pads. All the batsman had to do was just flick it off, and he did that with grace. So the blazing strikers get off the mark with their run chase in style. Viraj opening his account, and Jay, not the best of starts for him, follows that up with a low full toss. Will only be a single. That will mean that Pankit will take strike for the first time this contest. Swing and a miss. Hits it in the gap. There is protection out there in the deep, so will only be a single. So Pankit gets off the mark. Both opening batsmen for the Blazing Strikers up and running. Oh, that's a good ball from Jay. Very good ball. He's trying to open up the batsman. Keeping him at arm's length. So 6 runs so far. Huge appeal for LBW. Not out, says the umpire. So an eventful first over comes to a close. It's a boundary and a couple of close shaves in there. The end of the first over, the SVKM Blazing Strikers are 6 for no loss. Sahil is the new bowler from the other end, bowling to Pankit. Pankit trying to go for the big swing, misses it. There is Sahil. Again, there is movement of the pitch. A little bit of seam movement there. Gets an edge, and this time it goes to the boundary for 4. So after 2 play and misses, Pankit gets connection on the third one. Here, a little short, a little wide, opens the face of the bat and hits at a comfortable height from the slip fielder, races away to the boundary for 4. Again, trying to play it will only be a single. Was trying to look for that gap behind square on the leg side. Gets only a single. So 5 runs coming off this over so far. 4 balls in, 2 more balls to go. Viraj taps it down the ground. Will get a single for it. Not exactly the best of throws, but thankfully no damage done whatsoever. So 6 runs off. You can say it's a rather sedate start, a composed start from both the opening batsmen here. They've not gone for undue aggression. They're focused on keeping their wickets intact rather than going for the big shots early on. Plays it down the ground, and that will end the over with a single. So 7 runs coming off it. 2 overs done. The Blazing Strikers are 13 for no loss. Place it down the ground, but a misfield, and that will give them a boundary. So this is a positive start to this over for the Blazing Strikers. Punkit getting a boundary here, down the ground with a little bit of a misfield there, not the best attempt to gather that ball. That has gone to the boundary for 4. This time hits it firmly, but this time he keeps it in control. So that will be a dot ball. Plays it down the ground. This time, will he reach in time? Oh, a direct hit, and that would be very, very interesting. They eventually make their ground, but that was a very close call. Looking to go for a quick single. Plays it down the ground for another single. Less risk involved this time. Here comes Jay bowling to Punkit. Swing and a miss, and very close to the stumps as well. Very, very close to the stumps on another day. That would have gone on to hit the stumps. Drops it down, ends the over. So end of the third over, 7 runs coming off it, 20 for no loss. So Sahil to continue in the power play, second over, Went this first over went for 7. Edged, well fielded, will get a single. Good awareness from Viraj from the other end to get onto the danger area. Pankit is ball watching a bit. Few changes made to the field. Point made a little more squarer. Here a Sahil bowling to Viraj. Oh, very close. Almost chops on, but that has gone to the boundary for 4. Ideally, that would have gone on to hit the stumps on any other day. But on this particular occasion, Viraj was one lucky boy. Straight down the ground. Well fielded. Will only be a single. Pankit standing well outside his crease. Gets a little bit of bat on that. Was it enough to beat the fielder? You bet it is. That is another boundary. So 2 boundaries in the over, 10 runs coming off it. It's a nice, sedate little start here for the Blazing Strikers with the bat. A boundary apiece for Viraj and Pankit in this over. Being given as a wide to bowl that one again. In the air, falls just short, 1 bounce. Ends up as a dot ball, so 11 runs off this over so far. Last ball of the over to go. It's productive. It's been a productive over for the Blazing Strikers. In the air, straight down the ground, and that's running away to the boundary for 4. So 3 boundaries in this over. Hits it hard and straight. The umpire had to duck for cover. And that's gone to the boundary for 4. So very, very productive over here. 15 runs coming off it. 4 overs gone. 35 for no loss. Jay coming on. Straight down the ground again. Settles for a single. Here is Jay to Pankit. Pankit takes the Aggressive route, and that's gone running away to the fence for 4. And that's gone to the rope as well. So now, after 3 overs of a watchful start, the Blazing Strikers are now taking matters into their own hands and have accelerated the scoring in the past 2 overs. They got 3 boundaries in the previous over, and now they've got back-to-back boundaries in this over as well. So they have well and truly got a march on. Make that 3 in a row. So Pankit has now fully taken the attack to the bowlers. Shortest delivery outside the off stump, very close to that fielder, but had just enough to go past him. And that's 3 boundaries in a row. Expensive over this for Jay. So 50 of the partnership comes up with another boundary in this over. 17 runs coming off this over. This is a big over. 50 of the partnership as well. 5 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers 52 for no loss. So after 3 overs of watchfully playing out and assessing the conditions, the Blazing Strikers in the next 2 overs have scored 32 runs. They were 20 for no loss in 3, and they have rocketed past 50 in the next 2 overs. 32 runs coming off it, making full advantage after setting themselves up and getting their eye in. Pankit, the aggressor, on 38 of 21, and Viraj moving to 13 of 9 deliveries. The swings it, fielded well, will get a single. They hit it at such power, thought that that was going to the fence. Good effort there from the fielder at fine leg. Pranay is the new bowler who's been brought into the attack to bowl the final over of the power play. Swing and a miss, going over the stumps. Plays it nicely down the ground, but again, no run on offer. Takes the aerial route. Has he found the distance? You bet he has. One bounce over the rope for 4. So the runs continue to flow and the boundaries continue to come in at regular intervals for the Blazing Strikers. Had just enough to go past that fielder and a couple of bounces and it finds its way to the boundary. Pranay bowling to Pankit once again. He's trying to set himself up for that massive heave over mid wicket. Just did not get the connection he was looking for. Here is Pranay, final ball of the power play. Plays it down the ground, no runs. 6 overs gone, 57 for no loss. Blazing Strikers continue to mount the offensive, finding another boundary in this over. Pankit has moved on to 46 in quick time of 28 deliveries. Plays it down the ground. Will only be a single. But it doesn't matter at this point because the Blazing Strikers are well in control of proceedings at the moment. They're going at an asking rate of 9.45, whereas the required run rate is well under 8 at the moment. Let's that go. Umpire says no wide, nothing doing. A much better over for the bowling side under the circumstances. Still one more ball to go. We'll have to wait and see. Edged, no run. So the end of the 7th over, Blazing Strikers 63 for no loss. They find another boundary in the over early on. And that brings up the 50 for Pankit as well. A classy knock, 51 of 31. He's been the aggressor out of the two, and he's taken his side to a position of strength at this moment. We get a single there, acknowledging his team for a job well done. Job's well done so far, but there's still some way to go. Lays it down on the ground. Won't get a single this time. Picks that one, but there is protection out there in the deep. So will only be a single. 6 runs of this over. One more ball to go. Takes the aerial route. Ball's just short of the fielder. Gathers it on the bounce. And that will be another single. So 7 runs again of this over. 8 overs gone. 70 for no loss. And that has gone all the way for 6. Brilliant shot. Slogs just outside the off stump. But he goes with the full force of the bat. And that has comfortably cleared the rope. Punkit moves on to 59. And once again, they find a boundary within the first 2 balls of the over, putting the pressure squarely back on the bowler and the fielding side. Picks it! And that's another one! Back-to-back sixes for Punkit. Punkit wants to make sure that this gets over in a hurry. He's making mincemeat of this target so far. Moves on to 65 in double quick time. Back-to-back sixes now. Plays it down the ground as he found the gap. No, he hasn't. Get a single. They're comfortably ahead of the asking rate at this point. 83 for no loss. Going across their merry way. Viraj on 16 of 15. Punkit currently batting on 66 of 37. Taps it down the ground for another comfortable single here. So this has been an opening partnership of contrasting skills. Punkit has been more than happy to play the role of the aggressor, and that has meant that Viraj has readily taken the role of the anchor on the other end without trying to do anything fancy, just making sure that he has his wicket intact on the other end. Takes it, big shot, attempts it, will be another single. So big over this. 15 runs coming off it, 8 overs gone, 9 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers are 85 for no loss. So 9 overs gone. The Blazing Strikers find themselves in a very, very comfortable position. 85 for no loss, all 10 wickets intact. Both their opening batsmen have been well set, with Pankit especially taking the charge, making things look comparatively easy at the moment for his side. Plays it straight down the ground. Will be settling for a single right there. That'll bring Viraj on strike as Pranay continues to bowl. Oh, he's picked that beautifully. And a misfield has given them another boundary. That score moves on to 90 now. And Viraj gets a move on into the 20s. They are comfortably placed at this point in time. Another full toss. Will settle for a single this time. Gets a single. So they move on to 91 for no loss. Midway into the 10th over. Down the ground, one bounce to that fielder at long off. Will get a single. Pranay bowling to Viraj at the moment. He's going for the big shot, the big appeal. Not out, says the umpire. So here is Pranay bowling to Viraj. Again going for the big shot. Swing and a miss. All of a sudden, Viraj getting a little touchy here. And that's the end of the 10th over. We are halfway through. The SVKM Blazing Strikers 92 for no loss. And it's time for drinks. started this 11th over. Starts off with a single. Viraj currently batting on 22. Plays that one nicely down the ground for a single towards long off. Vishal is the batter. Vishal is the new bowler introduced into the attack correction. The equation for the Blazing Strikers is 75 runs needed of 58 deliveries. Meanwhile, Pankit just looking to swing for everything and anything at this point. Vishal bowling to Viraj at the moment. That's in the air, straight up. And the bowler has made an absolute meal out of it. Did not know where the ball was going to land. Horrible positioning. Just does not get near it at all. Went straight up in the air. Had enough time to get himself into position, but just was not able to judge it. Probably the sunlight being a huge factor in that. Pankit goes big. And he goes long. And he goes huge for 6. That is a massive hit. Look at that. Nails that to perfection from the middle of the bat. And he moves on to 77, and that brings the 100 up for the Blazing Strikers in the 11th over itself. This is another big over, 11 runs coming off it, and still 2 more balls to go. It's the 100 of the partnership for the Blazing Strikers as well. It's turning quite one-sided at the moment. Straight down the ground. Again, the bowler not able to judge it. I'm not sure even if he had judged it correctly. And that's out. Pankit is run out. It felt like only way to dismiss Pankit would have been a run out, and he unfortunately was just short of his ground there. Millimeters short of his ground. Inches there, and Pankit has to depart for what has been a magnificent knock. 77. Excellent knock this from Pankit. He's well short of his ground. He did not. He was walking. Then he seen the throw and then decided to run wholeheartedly. That was a good throw, a direct hit. And he was well short of his ground. So an excellent innings comes to an end. So the Blazing Strikers have lost their first wicket for 103. And it is Samir who is the new batsman walking into the middle. He will be at the non-strikers end because of the batsmen exchanging sides via the run out. So it will be Viraj who will be taking strike. Lays it comfortably down the ground. Will make his ground for a single. So 12 runs coming off this over, but the big wicket of Pankit as well. So 11 overs gone, 104 for 1. So Viral bowling to Viraj. So Viraj takes the aerial route and finds the fence. So Viraj taking over from where Pankit left. And that is not the welcome to the attack that Viral was looking for. Just in the hitting arc, enough to swing his arms and enough precision to beat that fielder in the deep. So starts off with a boundary. That run rate, required run rate now is well under 7, 6.91 the required rate. Oh, he's picked that one nicely too. That's running away to the fence. Back to back boundaries for Viraj. And now Viraj is the one who's making a move. Very, very well done indeed. So back to back Viral under pressure. Two boundaries in the first two deliveries. Oh, misfield. That'll give them a single. So 9 runs already. And finally, Samir will take strike for the first time in this contest. He's a tall man. Is Samir set to take guard? 56 required or 51 for the Blazing Strikers. They have been ahead of the 8 ball from the very first ball of this run chase. Plays it nicely down the ground, was looking for a quick single but realizes that there wasn't any and thinks the better of it. Oh, that's a good shot from Samir. Picks it up beautifully. Gets off the mark with a single. A little more timing and he could have probably got 4 runs for it. But he'll take a single and happily get off the mark. It's a good shot from Viraj. Plays it down the ground. So, oh, misfield. Will get a couple of runs. Do they? No, they will settle for only a single. So 11 runs coming up this over. 12 overs gone. It's 115 for 1. And that's a good start. He thought he had enough timing to get that to the boundary, but there was protection out there in the deep. It's a single. Vishal brought back into the attack. Slightly expensive first over, going for 12, but also getting the wicket courtesy a run out. Plays that well, but again, too close to that fielder at backward point. Not a wide. That's another good delivery. So nice tight start to the over. That is wide enough, and that will be called a wide. So you'll have to bowl that one again. Plays it down the ground. Comfortable single. And that will bring Viraj to the striker's end in this over for the first time since the first ball. Viraj currently batting on 36 of 28. It's in the air and taken. So Viraj has to walk back. Both the set batsmen out. Is this the opening that the Cathedral Knights were looking for? It was nice and full. Was there to be hit. Viraj took the bait. Thought he had enough in it. It was a comfortable catch to the field at long off. So Viraj departs for 36. The SVKM Blazing Strikers now are 2 down. And as Jatin walks out to the middle, 118 for 2. Jatin facing Vishal. He's picked that nicely. They'll definitely be looking for 2. That is excellent running between the wickets. They will comfortably come back for 2 here. So 2 more runs to the tally. 13 overs gone. It's 120 for 2. It's a wide, and that is racing away. And that has gone to the fence for 4. The last thing that the Knights required at this juncture of the game was 5 wides, 5 free runs. And they have given it away. So 125. And Ryan starts off with a very, very poor delivery. Not the start that Ryan and the Knights were looking for, especially after getting a wicket in the previous over. Oh, that's a full toss. They're looking for 2 and they will get it. Ryan bowling to Samir. Straight down the ground, no run. Oh, plays down the ground. We get a single. Well in control of proceedings at the moment are the Blazing Strikers. Plays it down the ground, but will get no run for that. Well stopped by the bowler. We trying to dab that towards that third man region. It's a little too low as far as the bounce is concerned to play that shot. So this is a good over. Despite the 5 wide, just 8 runs coming off it. And he's knocked him over. So Ryan ends the over with a wicket. And the Cathedral Knights still fighting. It's the end of the 14th over. The Blazing Strikers now 128 for 3. Again, the ball keeps low. Did not bounce enough. Went into the shot way too early for his liking. There, already into the shot. And the stumps are disturbed. So the Knights still trying to find a way back into this contest. They've gotten another wicket. 41 required of 36. Vishal bowling to Samir now. He's played that down the ground for a single. Siddharth is the new batter out in the middle. Set to take strike. Plays it nicely. Quick single. The throw probably at the wrong end. So Siddharth gets off the mark straight away with a single. 129 for 3. 130 for 3 now. 39 required of 34. Nicely bowled, full, but will get a single. They're looking for 2, and that is excellent running between the wickets. They get 2 rather comfortably. Very well run indeed. Good running between the wickets in the limited time that these 2 batsmen have been out there in the middle. The equation now down to 37 of 33. It's a full toss. Couple of bounces to that fielder, but will only be a single contrary to the 2 that they were expecting. Here is Vishal bowling to Siddharth now. Plays it down the ground. Is looking for a quick single, but Samir wisely sends him back. So slowly and steadily, a couple of tight overs being bowled here by the Knights. Just getting a little hold on things. Not a lot, just a little, but a hold nonetheless. Plays it down. Once again, tight closing fielding, but a little bit of misfield. Gives away the single. So 35 required of the final 5. The Blazing Strikers 134 for 3. Ryan brought back into the attack. First over, giving away 8 runs for a wicket. Plays that beautifully. He's beaten the fielder there, and that ball is raced away to the fence for 4. Siddharth playing the cut shot to perfection. Beautiful timing, beautiful precision, exemplary gap finding here from Siddharth. And the first ball races away to the fence for 4. 31 needed of 29 now. Oh, that's a good ball. Good comeback delivery that. A slow Yorker. Well played by Siddharth as well. Good cricket all around. Ryan bowling to Samir now. Samir, the sedate partner out of the two. 9 of 11 balls. Oh, is trying to play a similar shot. A toe edge means the ball has gone to the other side. He will cross ends for a single. Here's Ryan bowling to Siddharth. Takes the aerial route. Find the gap. Does he? No, that's well fielded in the deep. Get a comfortable couple. So that's 27 of 26 now. Oh, that's a slog sweep. In the air. And one bounce over the rope for 4. He's picked the bones out of that. Low full toss. It was a low full toss. He had to bend down, gets on one knee, picks the delivery to perfection, and finds the gap as well due to the sheer timing on that shot. The required target now for the SVKM Blazing Strikers is 23 of 25. Well in control of things at the moment. 12 runs coming off this over. Ryan taking a bit of a tap at the moment. Here is Ryan bowling to Siddharth once again. Plays it fine. That's running as well. Does it have the legs? No, it doesn't. Be content with the second. They're actually coming for the third. Really poor fielding. So 3 runs more. 20 required. 16 was gone. It's 149 for 3. 15 runs of this over. Safe to say that this Ryan experiment with the ball hasn't worked in the favor of the Cathedral Knights. They were bowling a couple of tight overs, but this over to Ryan, especially in such a critical juncture, critical moment in the game, giving away 15 runs. Safe to say that the idea has backfired, and now they will be chasing the game for the remainder of the contest. Siddharth bludgeons that down the ground. There is a fielder out there, so will only be cut down to a single. So Siddharth has moved to 17 of 9 in really quick time. And that has brought the 150 up for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. They have been in control of this chase from the outset. Late cut misses. Again, another swing and a miss for Samir. Vishal to bowl out. Bowled well. 1 for 24 into his fourth over. Oh, that's a good looking shot. Will only be a single, and that will bring Siddharth on strike, who look good. They'll want to try and finish this as quickly as possible. Oh, he's picked that one nicely. And that is raced away to the fence for four. Siddharth finishing things off with a final flourish. He wants to get rid of this target quickly. He wants to get it done as quickly as possible. And he's come out with the same intent. Beautiful shot, swiveling down the track. Beautiful extension. And hits it down that square leg fielder for four. 14 required now. Siddharth on 21 of 10. Straight down the ground. That has bludgeoned down over the bowler's head for back-to-back boundaries. Siddharth is relentless. There. Bangs it. The bowler had to duck for cover because the bowler is a tall man. Could have taken his head off. 17 overs gone. It's 159 for 3. The blazing strikers require just 10 more runs. Only 10 runs required. And it is Samir, the batsman, who is on strike. Samir currently batting on 11 of 15. Pranay has bowled 3 overs for his 19. The blazing strikers just 2 hits away. It's a smart thing to do. Gives away the single and good running between the wickets. Straight down the ground. It's a little bit of a misfield, but it'll only be a single. So 8 runs required of 16. Swing and a miss. Samir clearly cross with himself. He's not found his bearings, although he's not been required, but he would love to connect a few. Probably be the one to score the winning runs if he does. Well bowled this from Pranay. It's a little bit of a twist in the tail, probably. Just 2 singles of this over so far. Edge that. Well fielded. Will make it through for a single, but that was well stopped. Could have been more than one. Good awareness and good release after gathering the ball as well from the fielder at short third. Plays it nicely. They're looking for 2, and they get 2 rather comfortably in the end. So that is the end of the 18th over. The score now 164 for 3. 5 more required of the final 2 overs. So 8 runs required of 12. Jay coming into the attack. He's been a trifle expensive. 3 overs, none for 30. Samir, the batsman on strike. He's on 13 of 19 at the moment. Swing and a miss. Straight down the ground. Will be a single. And that will bring Siddharth on strike with 4 runs needed. Here is Siddharth. Oh, that's a good ball. So swing and a miss once again. This is a late twist in the tail. You'd like to think so, but still it's the batting side that hold all the aces. Is it down the ground? Will be another singles. 3 required. Three required of 8 deliveries. Samir, the batsman, on strike. Jay. Swing and a miss. And that's gone to the fence. What an anticlimactic way to get the victory, but it has been a thoroughly deserved victory for the SVKM Blazing Strikers. It's a very, very good batting performance, headlined by Pankit, and the final flourish being provided by Siddharth with his 29 of 15. As far as the Cathedral Knights are concerned, they just felt that they were a touch behind the game from the run chase. They weren't able to stem the flow of boundaries. They kept conceding big overs, and as a result, they end on the losing side today. So the final score and the final result in this Dutch Premier League game between the SVKM Blazing Strikers and the Cathedral Knights is that the Blazing Strikers have emerged victorious by 7 wickets. I am Delvin along with operator Fayaz and cameraman Shoaib. This is me wishing you goodbye. We'll be back with more cricketing action shortly. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy.